I have some questions for you. What areas of your house needs cleaning up? Now, just to be clear, I'm not talking about your physical house, or maybe you do need to actually clean your physical house, but I'm talking about you, your life, your relationships, your community. What's keeping you from experiencing God's presence in your life? What's hindering your growth? Do you have any toxic mold residue in certain areas of your life? Have you ever left some food in the refrigerator for too long and it started to grow mold on it? So, of course, what do? You throw it out and then you clean the place where the food was sitting. But lo and behold, weeks later, you see that the same mold is growing on a different piece of food. Same color, same texture. The mold came back. It's a persistent mold. It keeps coming back. But why? Well, you have to understand that the life cycle of a mold starts with the growth of hyphae. And this is the visible growth that you actually see on the food. But when the conditions are right, spores form on the end of these hyphae cells. So the more hyphae you have, the more spores you have. Then, at some point, the spores are dispersed or they break off of the hyphae and they go into new areas. But here's the thing. You can't see the spores. They are highly resistant and durable. They can even remain dormant for months, even years. But eventually, they will germinate and grow new hyphae. And then the cycle starts all over again. Well, let me give you an example. Y'all ever been in a relationship, not necessarily a romantic relationship. This can apply to any type of relationship like friendships or a work relationship. But you ever been in a relationship and something happens that affects the health of that relationship and you try to work it out and resolve whatever issue or conflict existed and you think everything is fine until the same exact thing happens again. And then you try to work it out and you think everything is fine until a month later, the very same thing happens again. And it creates a persistent cycle of behaviors that can be a barrier in you being everything that God has created you to be. Or maybe that's not you. Well, here's another example. It's kind of like unforgiveness. You know, somebody did you wrong, and in your mind, you want to forgive them. You think, you believe, and you truly believe in your heart that you have forgiven them. But every time someone mentions their name, something inside of you just cringes up. And then sometimes you may even open your mouth and speak badly against them, talking dirt about them and about what they did to you. And that can lead to you creating cycles of resentment and bitterness because we haven't really truly healed from the hurt that person caused. We haven't dealt with the root cause of it. We haven't gotten rid of the spores. But here's the good news. In the Old Testament, it is the priest that helps in the cleaning process. You would go to the priest, they would sacrifice a lamb, and they would pray these prayers. The priest would help in the purification process. And now that the veil of the temple is torn, Jesus has come to be the high priest. And when we go to the priest, no sacrifice has to be made. Christ, the high priest, has made the ultimate sacrifice, not with a bird or lamb, but with his own life, not with fresh water in a clay bowl, but he is the living water, not with hyssop or scarlet yarn, but through the scarlet blood Jesus shed for us on the cross. All we have to do is go to the priest. Go to the priest. Go to Jesus. There is power in the name of Jesus. There is power in the name of Jesus. There is power in the name of Jesus to break every cycle. In this Lenten season, let's break these cycles. God bless you.